I decided to make a little update and make the module a lot smaller, so now it can fit into smaller vehicles. The old module used to be 6x2, plus any of the modules you wanted to use for any screens. Now it's just one 6x2 module. You might be wondering why I made a pin system in this, a game where that is of very little use, and I'm not sure why either. Here we have the new and improved, smaller size, pin microchip. Here is the pin input in case you want to input a pin with an input instead of a property. Here's the lock state as before. If it's on, it's unlocked. If it's off, it's locked. There are 5 composite inputs. These are all for the touch screens. You can have up to 5 different touch screens, so there are 5 composite inputs. There are also 5 video outputs. Alright, well, let's show you how they're connected. Here we have a number of doors set up. Let's connect a few of them to show you how it's done. First, we want to connect the lock state to the door. In the case of this sliding door assembly, we connect the lock state to the lock input. In the case of this custom door, we connect the lock state to the input. In the case of doors that are regularly in the game, we simply use an AND gate and connect the lock state to one side of the AND gate, and whatever we use to open the door to the other side of the AND gate. Here we are using a push button with a capacitor, and on this door we are using a player sensor with a capacitor. The next step is connecting the displays. For each display, there is a composite input to receive the touch input from the display, and there is a video output to send video to the display. Let's connect all of these up. Door 1 gets door 1 video signal. Door 2 gets door 2 video signal. Door 3 gets door 3 video signal, and so on. They also have composite inputs. Connect them in the same way you connected the video outputs. Alright, it's pretty much that simple, but let's talk about setting up the hub. You'll want to set a password, so you can do that by going into the properties. You set the password here. It can be up to 5 digits long. Now you can have the pin come from a property, or you can have the pin come from the input that was over here. We're going to use the property for now, and we're going to set this so that it starts locked, which means by default it will be locked. Alright, let's give it a try. As you can see, when we type in the incorrect password, nothing happens. When we press unlock, it clears the password. Now, let's type in the correct password. When we press unlock, the lock state is changed to on, and, in this case, the door opens. As you can see, the lock state is the same for every single display that is connected to the hub. When the hub is unlocked, pressing lock will lock the hub, and every single door along the way. Here we can see it in action again. We're typing in an incorrect password, and as you can see, it did not work and cleared. Now we're going to type the correct password again. As you can see, the door is now unlocked. Alright, let's start from the top. First, we have one lock pin hub client combo. Next, we have one AND gate. Next, we have a two-sided toggle button. We have one display for one side of the door, one display for the other side of the door. We have the door, and we have a power source. Alright, let's do the logic. Let's start with data. First, we want to connect the lock state to one side of the AND gate. Next, we want to connect the toggle button, or whatever we're using to open the door, to the other side of the AND gate. This makes sure that the door will only open providing that whatever you're using to input is on and the lock state is unlocked. We're going to connect the output of the AND gate to the input of the doors open and close. Now let's do the composite. Each screen has its own composite and video connections. Let's connect up display input 1 to the first display. And let's connect display output 1 to the first display. We'll do the same for the second display. Alright, I'll just attach the electrics. Before I forget, we also need a constant on to make sure the displays are on so we can use them. Alright, let's set up the hub. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to set the password to something very simple of 123, and we're going to say it's from the property, meaning it's taking this number rather than an input. We're going to say that it starts locked. Alright, let's give this a try. Here we are. Let's type in the incorrect password. And again. And now let's type in our password. Now the lock state is set to on, which means it is unlocked. So when we press our toggle button, the door opens. Likewise, from the other side, if we press the toggle button, the door closes, or opens, or closes. When we press lock, the door locks, and the toggle button no longer has an effect. I'm unimposed, or USB on Steam, and this has been the much smaller, much improved lock pin hub client combo.